A candle in the dark. In a small town nestled between distant mountains and thick pine woods, there stood a house at the edge of the village. The house was made of stone, with a steep roof and a crooked chimney. It looked old and quiet, like a place that remembered stories. In that house lived a girl named Elena and her father, Thomas. Elena was 12 years old, with dark hair, curious eyes, and a brave heart. Her father was a candle maker, one of the last in town. He carved candles by hand and scented them with lavender, rosemary, or wild honey. People said his candles burned longer and brighter than any others. Their days were peaceful, filled with the scent of wax and the gentle flicker of flames. But then, one autumn, something changed. A terrible storm came, unlike any the village had ever seen. The sky turned a deep gray, and the wind howled for days. Trees fell, roofs blew away, and the power lines that brought electricity to the town snapped like strings. For days, the town was lost in darkness. There were no lights, no heaters, no stoves to cook with, no way to see once the sun set. Fear crept into the hearts of the villagers. The nights were long and cold, and shadows stretched like fingers through the narrow streets. The smallest sound made people jump. Elena and her father lit candles in every room. They gave light to their neighbors, too, carrying small bundles of wax through the storm. One by one, the houses on their street began to glow with little flames, like stars on the ground. But the storm had taken more than just light. It had taken the sense of safety. People began to whisper that it wasn't just a natural storm, that it was cursed. That something dark had entered the town. Strange things started to happen. Windows broke for no reason. Animals cried in the night. And some people said they saw a shape in the woods, tall and cloaked in shadows, watching. Elena wasn't sure what to believe. But one thing she knew. The darkness felt different now. Not just the kind that came when the sun went down, but something deeper, something that pressed against the soul. One evening, as the wind howled outside and the candles flickered on the table, Elena's father took her hands. "Elena," he said, "I need to tell you something." She looked up. "I have to go," he said. "The mayor asked me to take candles to the mountain village. Their roads are blocked, and they're in total darkness. They need light." Elena's heart sank. "You'll be gone all night?" Thomas nodded. "Maybe 2 days. But you'll be safe here." "I don't want to be alone," she said softly. Her father squeezed her hand. "You're not alone. You have light. And more strength than you know." Before dawn the next morning, Thomas packed a satchel with candles and matches, kissed Elena's forehead, and stepped into the gray morning fog. Elena stood at the door, clutching the thick wool blanket he left her. The house felt larger, quieter. Every creak in the floor, every sigh of the wind, felt louder without him there. She lit a candle and placed it by the window. "Come back safe," she whispered to the flame. That night the darkness pressed harder. A cold wind slipped under the door. The trees outside shook like they were afraid. Elena sat by the fire with her blanket wrapped tight, a candle on the table, and her eyes on the shadows. Then she heard it. A knock. 3 soft knocks at the door. Elena froze. She wasn't expecting anyone. No one should be out in a storm like this. She stood slowly and stepped toward the door, candle in hand. "Who's there?" she asked. No answer. She reached for the handle, then stopped. She remembered her father's words. "The dark plays tricks. Trust your light." Instead of opening the door, Elena lit another candle and placed it outside on the porch. Then she sat back down. From the window, she saw the light shining into the dark. No one came. The next day passed slowly. Elena read her father's books, made a little soup on the fire, and kept the candles burning. She missed him terribly. But she also felt something new, a flicker of strength she hadn't known she had. That evening, just as the sun sank, she saw something strange. A light in the forest. It blinked, then vanished. Then blinked again, deeper among the trees. Elena stood at the edge of the porch, watching. Her heart beat fast. Was someone there? Was it her father? She grabbed her warm coat, tucked 3 candles into her satchel, lit one, and stepped into the dark. The forest was cold and thick with silence. The light blinked ahead, like it was leading her somewhere. She followed. Minutes turned into hours. Her candle flickered, but she lit a second one. Then she found it. A boy. Sitting under a tree, shivering, clutching a broken flashlight. His clothes were soaked, his face pale. "Hey!" Elena called out, running to him. The boy looked up. His eyes were full of fear. "I got lost," he said. "I went looking for my dog, but the storm came, and then it got dark, and I couldn't find the way home." Elena knelt beside him and handed him a candle. The small flame lit up both their faces. "You're safe now," she said gently. "Come with me." Together they walked back through the woods, the candle lighting each step. When they reached the village, people came running. "Daniel!" cried his mother, hugging him tight. Elena found him. Someone shouted. She brought him back. The crowd looked at Elena, candle in hand, eyes shining with relief. That night, the whole village came together. People lit candles in their windows and placed them along the streets. The darkness didn't feel so heavy anymore. Not when there was light. Not when there was each other. The next morning, Elena woke to the sound of footsteps on the porch. "Papa?" she called. The door opened. Thomas stood there, covered in snow, smiling through his beard. "You kept the light on," he said, embracing her. Elena nodded into his chest. "I was afraid. But I remembered what you said." That evening, Elena and her father stood at the edge of the village, placing candles on wooden posts. "We've always used candles to chase away the dark," he said. "But now I know," Elena whispered. "The light doesn't come just from the flame. It comes from us."